Los Angeles County. Brand new thing they're trying now because they're trying to gain people's affections by putting out propaganda. Oh, sorry, that's not what I meant. What I really meant was they're trying to make sure that families stay together. That's my official stance. Don't ignore what I said before. Don't ignore what I said before. This is what they're doing now. They're taking bids for certain agencies, specifically in this case, maybe make sure I read this correctly because I could not memorize this if even I tried. LGBTQIA2S plus. That's almost like reading off my VIN number on my car. I can't memorize that thing. But apparently they need me to memorize it because they're creating an agency where you can go in and bid in order for that agency to promote the adoption of children by them, for them, through them. What does that mean? They want to create an affirming network where if your child is identifying a certain way in the foster system, they will put them with a family that identifies accordingly. Now, on the surface, if you take God completely out of it, it sounds like they're trying to do something for the benefit of the child, right? And they're making sure that the child doesn't fall into the network where they get lost in the shuffle and they come up to a family that doesn't agree with their lifestyle and all that blibbity flibbity flobbity floop nonsense. I have a question. And I know most people don't think about it this way, but and again, this is just me, okay? What I'm about to say is not me saying that it should be this way simply because black, white. But I have a question for not just Black America, but for the left in particular. Those pushing this particular concept of putting a certain people who identify a certain way or are a certain way with their kind, because you don't want them going to somebody that doesn't agree with them. Okay. Where has that emphasis been in the Black community? Where has any left-leaning Democratic state influence, parliamentship, governorship, anything like that ever put emphasis on putting Black children in the foster system with Black families? I have not seen where you offer a bid to certain social groups that are trying to promote Black families and housing Black children with Black families. You don't think it would be nice to have the Blacks hanging out with the Blacks to foster the Black community in a family type environment? No, you prefer to deal with the sexual orientation of a child over what they're born like, obviously. Now, for those who are going to come at me sideways and say, that sounds like racism, well, okay, think that way. I can't help it if you can't see what I'm saying, and I have no intention of trying to break this down any further for you. We are dealing in correlations. The same mindset that forces a group in the government to set up grants to give to entities pushing a sexual agenda to children, especially in the foster system, via people, adults that are in that lifestyle, should give you pause, but apparently it doesn't. But you're going to come at me giving pause if I say Black children should be adopted by Black families. Make that make sense? I guarantee you money this is going to happen. I will wait for the comment section on this one to go back and read. And I bet you money there'll be people in there that will harp more on the fact that I said Black children to Black families than the topic at hand, which is gay communities going after children to dictate their sexual orientation. You won't say anything about that. In fact, you're going to gloss right past that and say, oh, you're going to be so racist. It was by design, because here's what's the intent for me, at least, is to make sure that you get caught. For all intents and purposes, we say we care about the kids, right? You care about the children. What? Oh, man, I've got, like I said, I got to be careful. So, what right does an adult human being have in the sexual affairs of a child? I want people to just ruminate on that for a minute. A child in the foster system, now this number is an old number, is 50% more likely to be assaulted sexually by either the families they live with or the people within the confines of that adoption agency. And that is just dealing with kids going to regular families. You just now introduced the one group where those assailants of that 50% mostly reside. And you're bringing them now to deal with children and teach them about their orientation sexually, and then place them with families they deem more likely to be like them. Mind you, California, the land of all the depraved that we can possibly think of, it happens there first, and then it filters out to the rest of America. If it's happening there, you don't think it's going to go somewhere else? Better yet, you don't think it's happening already? Oh, it's happening. The grant thing may be new, but the placement thing is very old. Now, there's not much you can do outside of changing your voting stature to make this stop, because this comes by way of the regime you put in place. If you vote a certain way, you reap a certain benefit or a curse. In this case, it's a curse. But again, my question to Black America, where is your outrage when they are pushing this? The same people, now mind you, this is the people that you vote for. You mostly identify with the Democratic Party. This is the same party that at every turn tell you they're going to do something, and as soon as they get what they want from you, you get nothing. They've let your families go to the wayside, your schools go to the wayside, your requests go to the wayside, and now they're going and doing the exact same thing they've been doing, which is focus on LGBTQ over you. Because in essence, they don't really care about if your family lives or dies. That's not their concern. They don't care if it thrives or if it just falls and dies. They don't care. If this doesn't prove it to you, I don't know what else is. But for people who are believers, for the believers in the world, let's break this down for you. Schools are not enough for them. Not enough. Movies, not enough for them. The statistic is that children in foster care disappear. Already, there's a very high rate of disappearance that just happens from foster care. Now you're bringing in a whole different conglomeration of groups that are known exploiters of children. And they're getting grants from the city to do so. This is going to get exponentially worse. And I'm going to make a prediction. Hey, I'm feeling generous with my predictions this year. You are going to see an uptick in the amount of missing children if this goes through. And I mean a massive uptick in missing children. And you know what they're going to tell you? They're not missing. They're placed for this. If you can pay enough, you get placed. Sounds an awful lot like another word, trafficking. But this time, they don't have to do it in the back door. They're doing it right in front of you. And people are going to go, yay, inclusivity. Meanwhile, the children are the ones to suffer. Make it make sense.